Can you believe that's starting next year? We're going on 10 years. It'll be November of next year. It'll be 10 years. I know, that's how I felt. We've done the show for a while, guys. It's been on
A whole decade
of
your lives that you can't get back. Welcome to On a Couch Talking Sports. A whole decade that you can't get back. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of On a Couch Talking Sports. Yes, we are finally back. I know, it's been a while, guys. We missed you guys terribly. But, as the old saying goes, life got in the way. Had a lot of stuff going on. And, it just, time went zooming past. And now here we are a month later, finally back at you with another edition of On a Couch Talking Sports. As always, I'm Robbie. Kyle's here. Kyle, how are you, buddy?
I'm here.
You are here. You made it. You showed up, and that's half the battle.
There you go. Yep.
But it's good to see you. And by the way, in case those are wondering, it was not like Kyle and I didn't see each other for a month. We've still been getting together, just sort of taking a hiatus / doing other things, and one of the things which we're going to talk about during tonight's episode. But before we get into tonight's episode, we do want to send a special shout out, as always, to our two sponsors, Zyman Organizing and Wes Woodson, two amazingly great people / entities / whatever you want to call them. They are awesome, and they've been big friends of the show, as well as the Sports Blitz with Doug and I, which, by the way, new episode just came out a few days ago with a special guest, so go check that out. And also, the artist formerly known as Marvel at the Movies, now known as Screen Time with Doug and Kyle. And again, more great content coming out of them on their new platforms and all that good stuff. They're doing big things on Screen Time. So
yeah, I'm really excited to see where we're going. I know it's been that one's been a little bit of a hiatus as well. We actually did have a recent episode where we actually had a special guest on as well. So definitely,
if you go to their YouTube page, there were a couple of live episodes that they did that you guys should definitely check out. So
yeah, we're trying a new format, seeing how it works, and so we'll see where we go from there.
Exactly. It's all about changing it up when you need to.
Yes.
And not when you don't. But anyway, again, we are back for a new On a Couch Talking Sports, and just as quickly as we come back, we actually are going to be on another sort of brief hiatus for the holidays coming up here for the next week or two while we close out 2022 and enter into a brand new year, 2023, which Kyle was just reminding me will include a decade of On a Couch Talking Sports. So pay attention, because coming next November, we're probably going to be celebrating that in a big way, I would think.
Yes. And we got something secret planned. I mean, well, actually, to be honest, we have nothing really planned yet.
No, we haven't thought that far ahead yet, but
yeah, it's too far ahead. It's like a year away almost.
No need to get too far ahead of ourselves. But
either way, I'm sure it'll be good. So
yeah, it'll be great. No, it's gonna be awesome. But excuse me, since this is our last episode of the year 2022, what we wanted to do tonight is, in part, in tonight's episode, is take a look back to last January of 2022, right? The start of this current year, where Kyle and I, if you folks remember, if you were watching us back then, if you were, thank you. But also, if you were just joining us, thank you. Kyle and I sat down and made a few predictions for the year ahead in the world of sports. And so what I thought would be fun to do tonight, again, to close out the year, would be to review our predictions for the year 2022 and see how we did. um, and so I have our predictions right here. And let's see how we did, Kyle.
All right.
So we'll start with me. Excuse me. My first prediction was that Kyle and I will. That's Kyle right there, in case you forgot.
Hi,
and
Kyle.
I'm I. Kyle and I will attend the Cape Cod League baseball game. Well, we did. This past summer, we had the fun occasion to attend a Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox game. It was an awesome time, and we did a whole episode about it from the Cape, like we usually do. So definitely go check that out if you get a chance. So far, I'm 1 for 1 in my year predictions. Prediction number 2 that I made was that both the Bruins and Celtics would make it to their respective playoffs. And guess what? They both did. The Celtics definitely did because they made it all the way to the NBA Finals before losing to Golden State, while the Bruins made it and unfortunately lost in the first round to the Carolina Hurricanes, but in 7 games. But like I said, the bottom line is that they did make the playoffs, so my prediction came to fruition, and I was very happy about that on both ends. And then my third prediction, which unfortunately did not come to fruition, was I predicted that the Boston College football team would win more than 6 games this season. Unfortunately, despite high expectations, they kind of had a down year this year in 2022 and went 3-9. So, unfortunately, just was not meant to be for the 2022 Eagles, but it can only go up from here. But unfortunately, that prediction did not come to pass. But I was 2 of 3, which is not terrible.
That's good.
It's better than 0 for 3 or 1 for 3. So I'll take it.
There you go.
Now on to Kyle's predictions for the year. So Kyle's first prediction was that he and I would attend at least one professional sporting event in the year 2022. And guess what? We attended 3 of them.
Whew.
2 of them. Sorry, we attended 2 of them. We attended a bunch of different sporting events at different levels.
Mm-hmm.
But we did attend 2 professional sporting events. We attended a Celtics game back in March, which was awesome.
That was awesome.
Which the Celtics won. And then we attended a Red Sox game in, I forget if it was like May or June. You know what? No, I remember now because it was Memorial Day weekend.
Yes, that's right.
Memorial
That's right.
Day weekend.
That was good. That was good.
Unfortunately, the Red Sox lost that game, but you know what? We still had a great time.
It's fun.
And we had an epic, 90s throwback song jam session on the way back out. I was driving Kyle back to his car.
That's funny.
Yeah. You had to have been there, but it was pretty epic. We were having a good time. So Kyle did get that prediction correct, and we actually did an additional game that he had predicted. So, Kyle's second prediction, which unfortunately did not come to pass, was he predicted that the Patriots and Bucks would be in the Super Bowl, but unfortunately neither team actually made it to the Super Bowl, as the Patriots lost in the first round in the wild card round of the playoffs, while the Bucks lost in the divisional round. So, fortunately, while both teams made the playoffs, they did not make it all the way to the Super Bowl. So, sorry, buddy. They let you down. And then, so here's the thing, Kyle. So you're 1 for 2 so far.
Okay.
So, I actually, for this third prediction, I'm not actually 100% sure if you did accomplish it or not, because it was one that was kind of personal to you, and that was the prediction that at some point in 2022 you were going to teach your preschoolers track in some form or another. So I guess what I need the honest answer from you is, did you accomplish that or not?
Actually, yes, I did.
Okay, there you go. Good job, Kyle. Yeah.
Thank you. Yay.
You've been predicting that for 2 years now, and glad you finally accomplished it.
It wasn't exactly what I was thinking in my head, but it turned out to actually be really, really good. The way it. So we didn't end up going to. I was hoping that we could have taken a field trip to the track, because we actually were pretty close to a track nearby, and I was hoping we could have done some cool running like I don't know, just some like laps and I don't know, any kind of running, throwing activities and stuff like that. Now, while we didn't get to do that at the track per se, we did actually get to do some activities. Like I actually did teach them to do some relay races on the playground, and I actually drew. This is gonna. I'm not even joking. I drew a shot put circle on. We have this like kind of blacktop part of the playground.
Oh wow!
And I actually had the kids practice throwing the shot put for a little bit. So
cool.
It was cool. It was actually a good experience.
Well, hey, well done, buddy. Well done. I'm glad that came to fruition for you, because I know that was a big goal of yours. So well done. So yeah, then Kyle and I both went 2 for 3. So you know what? We both were about 50%. So well done, buddy.
Bam.
There you go.
Nailed it.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. My hand burns.
Oh God.
But so very exciting stuff, and so now we will definitely be turning our attention to 2023, which for next episode, the first episode that we have in 2023, we will be making some similar predictions, I think, for the new year to come in the world of sports. So definitely pay attention to that. So for the second part of tonight's episode, one of the things that Kyle and I had the occasion to do together over the last couple of weeks when we were not filming is we actually went to a sporting event. It was not a professional sporting event, but it was a college sporting event. And it was actually a team that I don't think had ever seen together before, which was the Brandeis men's basketball team. They played host to Babson, which is a very familiar school as well to the two of us. I may or may not have been rooting for Babson in that game. Sorry, Brandeis. But we actually had the occasion, this was 2 weeks ago, to go over to the Brandeis gym to catch Brandeis Babson men's basketball. It was a very exciting time. Babson did win. I think they won by like 15 points or something like that. I forget the exact score. But Kyle, what I wanted to know from you is that being that I believe this was your personally first time at the Brandeis basketball facility, and at a Brandeis basketball game, just what your overall thoughts were about that experience.
Well, first off, just to kind of get this out of the way, I had no idea that the court was in the middle of an indoor track.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
So, it kind of reminded me, actually, that the indoor track definitely reminded me of the one at Wheaton that I was more familiar with. So, it was cool. It really kind of, it made the game very, very, very spacious, even though I know they use the curtains kind of like around the court area, but it was cool. It was actually just overall really good experience there. So,
yeah, definitely. And, the game itself, I mean, Babson, I feel like, was ahead for most of that game, but I mean, Brandeis kept it pretty close, like, to the start. I think Babson kind of like started to pull away a little bit as the game went along, but just thoughts about the game itself from your number a couple weeks ago.
I mean, it was just a really solid game. It was like I thought both sides played really well. It was just kind of nice, especially you're right, like the first half, kind of seeing them going back and forth like that. At least from what I remember. And honestly, I gotta give a shout out to just
I
the
think
fans.
I know where you're gonna go with this. Yeah.
It was just funny because when Robbie and I got there, there were like a decent amount of people kind of.
It was when we got there, and by the way, we weren't there like hours before the game. We were there maybe like 15, 20 minutes before the game, and it was I would say maybe about like half full, but when we got there, but like as it got closer and even like into the start of the game, it really started to fill in very well, where there were a decent amount of people there. So
and like the fans were they were really into this game, especially the ones that were like right behind us. We're just like,
who may or may not have had limited basketball knowledge, but I think that's what made it better.
I was just loving it. Like they just kept being like they just kept saying things like, "All right, that's it. Take him off the court. Take him off the court," and like just shouting like, "What? That's a terrible call, ref!" And I was like looking. I was like, "Wait, there was a I didn't see that." But anyways, it was just funny that I'm like, you guys need to be at like every game. Just
I know. It's like, can you come to every sporting event I go to for the rest of my life and just sit behind me? Like,
yeah.
Well, it's kind of funny. Like, I had to, kind of like discreet mode. I kept like looking over at Kyle Like when they'd be yelling and trying to not like let them see me laughing hysterically.
I was trying not to crack up either. I'm just trying to be like.
And then Kyle and I walk out of the room. I think we just both like started letting loose laughing in the parking lot when we got out of there. It was just the funniest thing ever. I'm sure there's those two young ladies that were behind us are not watching this, but if you are, shout out to you both. You guys were freaking awesome. Yeah, so thank you for giving us some humor in the basketball contest. So well done.
I would say they were the true winners of the game.
They really were. Yeah, no, they were. Hey, listen. Hey, good for that. Good for them. I mean, they may not have necessarily known they may not necessarily known a ton about the sport that they were watching, but they were still getting after it. Like they were having a great time. So big time shout out to them. But yeah, shout out to both teams. You know, I mean, both are very good looking teams. I mean, in terms of talent and play on the court. And I obviously wish them both the best in the upcoming, the remainder of their upcoming season. I hope they have a shot at, going, doing some big things. So
definitely. Obviously,
we'll see how that all shakes out. But congratulations to Babson on the win. And I do have to point this out. This actually occurred after the game. Kyle and I went to one of our favorite ice cream spots, Lizzie's in Waltham.
So
Shout out Lizzie's in Waltham for some great ice cream. If you're ever in Waltham on Moody Street, definitely please go hit them up because they have just amazing ice cream. But what I was going to say is that Kyle and I both witnessed a little bit of a car accident, or a single car accident, a rollover, if you will, on Moody Street, like leaving the game. And I hope whoever was inside that car was okay. But that was something crazy. Like,
I mean, I'm just wondering like how that even happened to begin with. Like how
you're not even like on a highway or anything. You're on like just a main road. Like,
yeah, you would have had to like really been turning hard. And the thing about Moody Street and the other side streets there, they're very like they're not the biggest roads, right, honestly.
Yeah.
So I just don't know how someone was able to just physically get themselves like that. I'm just like. Unless they got run over by like a freaking like tanker truck or something like that. But like that wasn't the case. It was just rolled over. I'm like, anyways.
No.
Yeah. How does that happen?
Yeah, it was very, very unique and interesting situation. But yeah, it just more. I hope that whoever was in that car is okay, and obviously we wish them the best. So.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're going to kind of move on to the end portion of our episode. This is obviously the part of the show where I do the Robbie's football recap. But considering the fact that I don't want to talk about the Patriots game from yesterday and that all three of my fantasy teams lost or are about to lose because there are technically still one more game tonight as we're recording this, I'm just going to skip it this week because BC and Wellesley High are done, and I don't want to talk about the Patriots. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not. You know me, folks. I am not shy about. I do not shy away from when my teams lose and stuff like that. I don't shy away from talking about it. But after witnessing what I witnessed yesterday, I don't know if I could actually put together a coherent sentence about what I witnessed in yesterday's game, let alone discuss it in depth. So I'm just not going to do it. So,
I mean, full disclosure, I was playing God of War when the game happened. I just heard a lot of shouting coming, from one of my roommates, and I'm just like, oh, that doesn't sound like it was a good game, was it?
It was just the finish of the game was just brutal. I mean, if you are a Patriots fan, you know what I mean. It was just, yeah. Anyway, again, like I said, I'm not gonna get into it because again, I can't form coherent thoughts about what I witnessed, and even 24 hours later, it's just not happening.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So what I am going to do now is I'm actually going to toss it over to my buddy here, Kyle, For the last 2022 installment of the Souz Reviews. So, Kyle, I know it's been a few weeks. I know there's a lot of stuff that you have to pick from in terms of giving us a review here. So, you take it away. I'm gonna sit here and do what I do during the Souz Reviews. So, anyway, go ahead.
Well, so it's not going to be your typical review. So I actually kind of wanted to bring up a subject that, and this is a pretty big deal in the comic book world news. So I don't know if you guys knew, but those of you who don't, Henry Cavill, in the wake of James Gunn's new DC universe, because as you know, I'm sure James Gunn took over the DC universe. He's going to take all the movies forward to a whole nother direction, I guess. And he basically, Henry Cavill's not playing Superman anymore. So because James Gunn's looking for a different, I think probably a younger actor to play Superman. And I definitely have a few thoughts about that, and I wanted to kind of hear what you guys thought about it, because it's a pretty big deal. Henry Cavill was cast as Superman back in, I think it was like 2011, 2012, and he had his first movie, Man of Steel, came out. It's a very kind of more divisive reviews. Like, people either loved it or they just weren't really that into it. But I think over time, though, people really, really loved Henry Cavill as Superman. They thought he was a really great one. And I'm in that same boat. Like, when I first saw Man of Steel, I kind of was a little... I wasn't very impressed with that at first. But then that movie kind of grew on me over time. And, I did see that, I really did see, like, a good... Like, I really thought, after seeing that, and... I really did think Henry Cavill was a good Superman, and I think he just needed a really good movie to kind of really take his character to the next level. Because the movies after that were kind of like, yeah, Batman v Superman didn't do his character very well.
Oh boy.
And then you have the 2017 Justice League, which decided to CGI out his mustache, because they had to bring him back in for reshoots, because that movie went through production hell. And when they brought Henry Cavill back for reshoots, he was in the middle of making Mission Impossible, the sixth movie, Fallout, which actually Robbie and I saw in theaters. And I don't know if you remember, Henry Cavill, he had a mustache in the movie, so...
I can't say that I do, but I'll take your word for it.
He was remember the main villain, like, with the helicopter that Ethan Hunt fought at the end? He was kind of like the other agent. He's like the big guy with like the
no, I gotta be honest, folks. I'm completely blank on what he's talking about. So sorry, I didn't mean to ruin your setup there. But
no, it's all good. It's all good.
I'm honestly not remembering it.
No. I mean, we haven't seen that movie in a little while, anyways. But So while they were filming that movie, they asked him to come back, and Paramount was like, "No, Henry Cavill, do not shave that mustache," and rightfully so. I get it, because they were in the middle of filming, so they brought him back as Superman with a mustache, and so they had to find a way to CGI the mustache, and it looked terrible. So just a lot of the stuff that Henry Cavill did after Man of Steel, I thought the movies themselves weren't really that great, although I did like the Zack Snyder Justice League, the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League. I thought that one he was much better in, but he wasn't in the movie for very long. So it's kind of one of those, like, I think he really needed a good movie, and I wish they gave him another chance. So it's really unfortunate to hear that he's not going to play Superman anymore, and it wasn't his decision. Peter Gunn, sorry, that's the TV show. James Gunn, who's now going to take over the DC Universe, told him, "Yeah, sorry, I'm looking for a new Superman." So. But apparently he was in talks of potentially doing some stuff down the road. So we don't know what that means. Maybe he's going to come back as Superman, as like another Superman or something like that. But I don't know. Like, I'm a little mixed on it, because I understand where James Gunn's coming from. He wants to kind of start the whole thing on a clean slate, because DC's been kind of all over the place with their universe. They've had spin-offs and this and that, and a lot of retcons. So I get it. I understand where James Gunn's coming from. I can sympathize with that. So he wants to just start fresh, big reboot. Like, I get it. But at the same time, I wish Henry Cavill at least got one movie. One, just Man of Steel 2. I wish he got one more chance to don the cape. And I think he would have really, under the right, set of writers and directors, I think he would have really knocked it out of the park, honestly. So let me know what you guys think. The good news is at least there's still Superman Lois. I think we're still going to at least get like a third season of that coming up. So for all the Superman fans, at least we got content. We got content out there. So yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Kyle, as always, for that riveting review and for all the Souz Reviews in 2022. Definitely some great content there. I'm looking forward to more exciting Souz Reviews in the new year. So thank you. Thank you as always for that. So before we close out tonight's episode, I just, on behalf of both of us here at On a Couch Talking Sports, want to wish everybody out there a safe and happy holiday season. No matter what holiday you celebrate, with whom, where, just have a great, great holiday season. Be safe. Hope that you get all the gifts that you want and all that good stuff. And I hope everybody also has a happy and safe New Year, as, like I said, we leave 2022 and usher in 2023, which I'm sure promises to bring more exciting things in the new calendar year. So before we go, just want to give one final shout out to our two sponsors, Zyman Organizing and Wes Woodson. Want to give a shout out to the other 2/3 of our YouTube trilogy, the Sports Blitz with Doug and I, and
Screen Time
with Doug and Kyle. Yes, and so here's to a lot more excitement and fun on all three phases of our YouTube trilogy in 2023. And that being said, that is going to wrap up our final episode of 2022. Again, I want to thank everybody who joined us all year long, whether it's for one episode or, the entire year's long worth. We really appreciate it, and we cannot wait to see you in the new year. So until then, that's Kyle. I'm Robbie. This is A Couch, which we'll be back on come the new year. And thanks for watching a brand new On a Couch Talking Sports, and we will see you next year. Bye, everybody. Ooh. Wow, it's been so long since I've logged on to the On a Couch Instagram page that we had 33 new notifications.
I'm just like washing my mouth out, that's all.
You've heard of WTF? It's WTAF. What the actual fuck?
WTAF.
WTAF. Yeah. WTAF. WTAF.
That's a good one.